What's up, everybody? This your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. So a lot of people that received the 8.0 update on the LG G6 saw in the camera app some of the things that's been ported over from the LG G7, right? So a lot of people asked, could I redo the camera comparison between the LG G6 and the LG G7? Sure I can, right? I'm gonna go audio from side to side with both of these devices, but we're gonna do a camera comparison between both of these phones. So get your popcorn ready and follow me on this journey. Let's go. Before I get started with the camera comparison between the LG G6 and the LG G7, one thing that I do want to point out when we go to both of the camera apps here, right? Now, both of these devices does have wide angle lens. The LG G6 can do something that the LG G7 can't. Right now, both of the devices and put them in wide angle lens. As you can see, both of the devices in wide angle lens, but when you start recording, and it doesn't matter if you record at 4K, 1080p 60 or 1080p 30, when you hit record on the LG G7, right, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit record on the LG G6, I wanna show you something that's different here. And let me hit the record button here. All right, so on the LG G6, you can still make your adjustments as far as wide angle and regular as you're recording, but you can't do that on the LG G7. So on the LG G6, you can actually zoom all the way in and you can zoom all the way out on the LG G6, but on the LG G7, you can't. So as you can see, you can't, and you can't zoom all the way out. So that's gonna be a win for the LG G6, and we're gonna stop, and I'm gonna show you guys real quick that I am recording this right now at 1080p 60 frames and 1080p 60 frames. So that's going to be a win for the LG G6. So let's go on and get with the rest of the camera comparison. All right, guys, so here it is, the LG G6 versus the LG G7, 1080p 30 frames per second. Now this is the redo. I've already done a camera review between both of these devices, but since the LG G6 has the newer update with all the new features, a lot of people have been asking me to do this redo camera comparison. So let's go ahead and put it to the test. Now, one of the things that I'm finding with the LG G6 compared to the LG G7 is that you got a wider lens on the LG G6 versus the LG G7, which is 80 degrees versus, I believe, 120 degree lens. So there it is. All right, 1080p, 30 frames per second on both of these devices. Let's look at that. And I got this shoot that auto mode on both devices. We know that LG phones does very well in manual mode, but I want to shoot this in auto mode only, but you can make your adjustments accordingly if you go into manual mode on both devices. All right, so this is 1080p 60 frames per second on the LG G6 and the LG G7. Now, I have been critical, and I actually made a video about 1080p 60 frames per second on Android phones. For some strange reason, at this high frame rate, we do have some issues as far as slow focusing. So if you haven't saw that video, please check it out. But this is the 8.0 update on the LG G6. And a lot of people wanted me to do this redo. So there it is. Let me go on and walk and let y'all guys see. And you be the judge for yourself. We're looking at both of these cameras. Let's see if we can get some of this color in as I walk. Yes. So look at that. We got the kitties playing. Look at the sky. Which one give you the better blues? and it got the little white right there. Let's look at the ground, and as the color here, nice little greens. There it is. So this is 1080p, 60 frames per second on the LG G6 and the LG G7. So let's go on and shoot all of this in 4K. Boy, look how pretty that is. You be the judge for yourself for looking at that. All right, let's go to 4K. All right, so here it is, 4K on the LG G6 and the LG G7 as I walk. All right, and a lot of people is asking the question of why the LG G7 doesn't have 4K 60. Because right now, all I think this device has is a 4K 30. Maybe we would get an update on the LG G7 so we could get 4K at 60. But right now, I believe this camera is at 4K 30. But you be the judge for yourself. Now, one of the things I do want to point out is that the LG G6, you could pick that phone up for about $250 to $300 versus the LG G7 is still pretty high at about $800 price point. So, you know, that's including tax and everything. So you be the judge for yourself when looking at both of these devices. Now, we do have a huge step up as far as processing power. You know, at 821 versus the 845, and the audio on the as far as the G7 is superb. But there it is, right? But when it comes down to cameras, what do you think? Which device has the better cameras in 4K? All right, that's 4K on the LG G6, LG G7. Let's go ahead and switch to the front-facing camera with both of these devices. All right, so this is the front-facing camera of the LG G6 and the LG G7. And as you can see, I'm sweating my butt off out here. It's very hot. Work hard out here for you guys, right? To give y'all guys the best coverage, period, on any mobile device. Now, this is the new update. Now, the LG G6 is known for not having a great camera, but the LG G7 fixed that. But you be the judge for yourself as I transition into some light. Look at that, which device will handle the lighting as I turn. And as you see that the LG G7 got dark, but the LG G6 did not get dark. So it kind of handled the transition a little better, but you be the judge for yourself as I turn. Is that a good thing or a bad thing that the LG G6 kind of stayed pretty much light and the LG G7 kind of darkened up a little bit, as you can see? And let's do that again. And but hey, look at the LG G6. The quality again is not as great, but again, as I fade into some lighting scenarios, look like the LG G7 is getting tricked up a little bit. But you be the judge for yourself and looking at both of these cameras. So this is a front-facing camera of the LG G6 and the LG G7. All right, guys, so on the last video I made with the LG G6 versus the LG G7, when it came down to the new feature that's called bright mode, a lot of y'all was asking questions about what setting I had it on, right? So I want to show you again that I got it set right, and I'm going to go to the new camera app here. As you can see, on the camera app, you have what's called bright mode. Kind of squeeze that in a little bit so y'all guys can see that. Okay, and it has bright mode and it has super bright mode on the LG G7. Let y'all guys see that. So as you can see, the features on the LG G7 has been ported over to the LG G6. So I want y'all guys to look at that. And right here at the bottom, if you look at the aspect ratio, all right, the aspect ratio here at the bottom, I have 13 megapixel, and then I have 16 megapixel on the LG G7. All right, so I want to show you some shots with both of these devices so y'all guys can see the super bright mode and the bright mode. Okay, so if I press this moonlight right here, all right, it's going to brighten up the background here, and that's super bright mode, and it's bright mode here on the LG G6, so you can see the difference here. All right, so it's bringing in more light on the LG G7, and on the LG G6 it's doing okay, but it's bringing in more light here. So I'm gonna show you some photos of this device being with it on and without it on so y'all guys can see the difference in the mode. So check this out. So this is the low light here on both of these devices, the LG G6 and the LG G7. You be the judge for yourself when looking at both of these cameras in low light. I don't have any lighting in this room, only the light that's coming out of the window. That's it. So you be the judge for yourself and looking at the quality on both of these cameras. This is Eric from Eads Computer Solutions. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the LG G6 and the LG G7. See you guys on the next video. Peace.